All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, back for another week of Just a Fan podcast. I am the NFL Encyclopedia, Coach Williams. There you go. That direction, the quarterback that runs this whole thing, Trish TV. What's up, man?
What's going on? What's going on? Training camp has begun. We're that much closer to the preseason.
Yes, sir. As a matter of fact, not only are we that much closer to preseason, I believe we are. I definitely know we less than 2 weeks into the Hall of Fame game. So, matter of fact, give me a second.
Is it 8 days?
Something like that, because
Nine.
Okay.
Okay, so 9 days from the Hall of Fame game, 8 days away from the actual induction. So, man, time is rolling. Almost every team has started camp. I know Dallas starts tomorrow. Washington has started. San Francisco has started. So yeah, this it's time. It's time. We're gonna see who moves up and down everyone's depth chart. You know, who gets cut, who gets traded, stuff like that. So, all right, guys. A lot has happened because when training camps come along, that's when you get a lot of news, like Michael Gallup retiring, which blah blah blah. Randy Gregory did not report the training camp, so he's on a did not report the training camp list. But we got a contract extension from Tyson Campbell with the Jacksonville Jaguars cornerback. Eric, you want to read off the numbers?
Yeah. His average is 19-1.
19-1. I think that's over 4 years, if I'm not mistaken.
4 years, and I don't remember exactly what he had up front as a signing bonus. But once again, I hate Trent Baalke. I really, really can't stand Trent Baalke. He has reset the cornerback market almost. There's only like maybe one or two corners that's getting paid more than him, and that's no reflection on Tyson Campbell. But let's go ahead and call a spade a spade. Tyson Campbell is not worth being paid the highest paid corner in the league. I got a big problem with that. But Trent Baalke does this. And folks, y'all think I'm just got it really bad for Trent Baalke. But if you're a fan of a team who has a receiver, a quarterback,
a pass rusher,
D lineman, pass rusher, or a corner who has a deal coming up next
and
year.
interior defensive lineman too. It's 6 positions. Yeah. It's really 6 positions.
If you are a fan of a team that has any of those players with a deal coming up, and that player is better than those guys that Trent Baalke has given these ridiculous contracts to, you should be as upset as I am, because now he's reset the market and he's basically forcing your team to pay above market value, basically, for that position. And it don't make no doggone sense. That's why we got the running joke on the show, and Brandon always puts up in the show, Eric misses Trent Baalke. It's on sight if I ever see Trent Baalke, because he's messed over my team more than once.
Well, okay? Guess what? I'm a Cowboys fan. I got 3 of those positions because, and the reason why I say this is because Dak is looking for more money.
Mm-hmm.
CeeDee Lamb's looking for more money.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I got 4 of those positions. Excuse me. Parsons looking for more money. And
Mm-hmm.
he said, "Well, what's the 4th guy?" Well, if Deron Blanche has another season like he had this past season, he's eligible for a contract extension this offseason coming up.
And I just want to hit on something right quick. So I
Go
just
ahead.
pulled up the top. I just pulled up the top 12 cornerback, highest paid cornerbacks by year. Okay.
Okay, go ahead.
All right. So you got Jair Alexander
That's
makes
one.
20, makes 20 number one makes
Okay.
21 million a year. That's fair. Jair Alexander's a dog. Denzel Ward makes 20.1.
Makes sense.
Marshawn Lattimore 19.5.
So he's at 3. Okay.
Okay. Marlon Humphrey 19.5 as well.
I'm fine with that.
Trayvon Diggs 19.4.
I'm fine with that.
Okay, and here comes Tyson Ted Campbell at 19.1. Now listen to some. I'm gonna just read 3 names to you. 3 names to you that make less than Tyson Campbell.
Uh-oh.
And and watch this. L'Jarius Sneed.
Mm-mm. No,
Yeah,
sir.
he makes the same. But
No,
we
sir.
know
No,
that
sir.
L'Jarius
No,
Sneed
sir. No, sir.
is
No,
better than
sir.
Tyson Campbell.
Nah.
Oh, this was gonna kill you. Bears fans, you ought to be real mad about this. Be glad you locked him up while you could. Jalen Johnson.
Ooh.
Thank God y'all locked him up at 19 million before Tyson Campbell signed. Okay. Now there's Tre'Davious White, 17-2. All of these guys got a bigger name. And I'm gonna throw Jalen Ramsey in there, even though I think he's kind of on the backside of his career. He's not as great as he used to be.
Well, but even still, is anyone considering Tyson Campbell a top 10 corner in the league?
I wouldn't. I wouldn't.
Right. So my thing is, if you're not a top 10 corner, you should not be paid as a top 10 player at your position.
That's my point.
Player, but he also is not a big time moving commodity. So, what we're done. So my thing is like, how is it that you all of a sudden out of nowhere? It would have made more sense to me what the Vikings did after the unfortunate passing of Kyrie. So it makes more sense in that regard because you got to lock down one of your corners. But as far as for the Jaguars, there was no need for it. He wasn't. I mean, he probably would have been due for the end of the season, but it wasn't anything where it was like an emergency. So I don't understand what that was for. And you're going to have to do a lot more to that roster. So you're locking up money on a corner that you don't even know if he's going to be consistently good. It makes no sense.
Okay, now watch this. I'm about to read some names to you who will need a new deal at the end of this season.
Deron Bland.
Charvarius Ward.
2. That's 2 players.
Okay. What do you mean 2 players?
Because Charvarius Ward and Deron Bland.
Deron Bland is his deal's up this year?
It's not up, but he's eligible for a contract extension, which and he's on a 5th round contract.
Oh, it's 5th. You mean 5th?
No,
you mean
5th round contract, which means that he's not going to continue to play on that small contract if he has another season like he had last year. Is what I'm saying.
I see what you're saying.
He's going to hold out.
Yeah. So you already messed over. You messed over the Cowboys. You messed over the Niners. DJ Reed, Jets. He's the other stone on the side of Sauce, so he get all of the work because nobody want to throw at Sauce. He's got a deal coming up. Byron Murphy, another good corner. He's got a deal coming up. Let me see. AJ Terrell.
Well, that's right, because Terrell was drafted the same year as CeeDee Lamb.
Yes.
That's right.
And there's a few more, but I'm gonna stop there in the interest of time. But there's a few more there's a few more players. Oh, I'm gonna drop this one. Asante Samuel Jr. And then I'm gonna leave it alone after that. But you got these guys who are Pro Bowlers or all pros, whether first team or second team, that's got deals coming up that have basically got more cred than Tyson Campbell. And Tyson Campbell's making 19-1. So those guys are going to be able to walk in. They're going to be able to walk into their GM's office and say, this dude got 19-1. You better start at 20 with me. If not 21, 22, so forth. So that's why, if anybody wants to know why I have such an overwhelming disdain and disgust for Trent Baalke, it's for reasons like this. It doesn't make sense. He drives the market up for no reason. And then everybody else is trying to scrape together their pennies to pay guys that are better than the guys he's paying. He overpays guys. But it's going to come back and bite him later. Mark my words, because even though the cap gets bigger and bigger every year, he ain't going to keep all the dudes. And they're going to get murked by Houston anyway during the season. That's my belief. So you done paid all this money just to maybe finish second in the division? And then probably get booted round one, maybe round two. Because let's be real, Jacksonville's not that good. And I like Trevor Lawrence, but like Tristan said, he is not a generational talent.
But also too, like, has anyone said, hey, this kid is locking down certain wide receivers in the league? Have you locked down Jamar Chase? Have you locked down Justin Jefferson? Have you locked down Brandon Ayuk? Like what have you done to establish yourself as this premier cornerback? Are you locking down anybody? And I'm not trashing Terry McLaurin, but Terry McLaurin don't have a quarterback. You can at least halfway lock him down or something. So
that's the whole issue, is that you want to pay your guys, you want to extend your guys, you want to keep talent in the house. There's nothing wrong with that, but don't overpay. Because there are guys who basically are better than. Every time he re-signs somebody these big ass contracts, there's like 4 or 5 guys that are better than him that deserve that money.
Yeah.
And it's like, come on, man. Because that's what I would start with as a GM. Hey, man, you're not better than this dude. He makes this. We gonna extend you, but we gonna extend you right here.
And if you think you're worth that money, we'll trade you.
Yo, we'll put you on the block.
Yeah.
We'll put you on the block and see how well you do. But I guarantee you, a lot of these guys, ain't nobody knocking down Jacksonville's doors for some of the guys that he's overpaid, that Trent Baalke's overpaid. Nobody's doing
not
that.
at all. Not at all. Not at all. I know I wouldn't be.
Yeah, they might trade for him, but you're gonna get peanuts in the trade. Hey man, we'll give you a fifth.
I give you a ham sandwich.
Yeah, a fifth round pick and a ham sandwich.
There you go.
Yeah. So yeah, man, that's Trent Baalke. But folks who are watching and who watch us on a regular basis, y'all know how I feel about Trent Baalke. And every time that you might think, oh, take it easy on Trent Baalke, he does something like this. And no, I don't miss Trent Baalke. It's on site if I ever see Trent Baalke. I'm just telling you that right now. Because he messing up the market. He's messing the market up.
But speaking of DBs, we got another DB that signed a contract extension, Julian Love, safety for the Seattle Seahawks.
I hate the Seahawks, but he's a good player.
Yeah, $12 million a year. That's a fair deal for him. Very good young safety. Seattle has a great group of young DBs. They just need to get more around the table. They don't have a quarterback, so that's gonna always hold them back. But
yeah, because I believe Julian Love and Tariq Woolen made the. We're gonna get to it later, but the top 100 there is somewhere they made that countdown.
Yeah, they did. They both did.
They're good players.
Yes, they are. No, they are. And Woolen, Love, Jackson is there. Who's the other corner? Oh my God, why am I drawing a blank?
Michael Jackson.
No, I said Jackson.
Uh, yeah, I'm drawing a blank too.
Oh my
Oh,
God,
Kobe Bryant.
thank you. Well, and not just
Kobe
him.
Bryant.
Damn, that's another one.
Yeah.
But anyways,
They have a loaded secondary.
they have a loaded young secondary,
That
man, and
secondary is really good.
yeah, and I'm interested in seeing what Mike McDonald does with that defense because he's going to blitz. He's going to um put those DBs in a great position to get a lot of interceptions and pass deflections. Um, a lot of teams are going to be in trouble when they have to throw the football. They are going to be in trouble. Um, but no, congratulations, Julian Love. What do we have Julian Love ranked anywhere as a safety? Like, how do y'all feel about him being ranked when it comes to safeties?
Um, basically, I haven't really thought about it. I hadn't put thought into it, but I know he's a really good up and coming talent.
Yes,
He's a really solid player. He can't cover George Kittle, but um,
we're not saying
other
he
than
can
that,
cover George Kittle now.
yeah. But other than that, no, I still respect his game. I think he's a really good. I think he. I think he should be a top 10 in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. Probably at maybe number 7 or 8 or something like that.
Yeah, I believe um I believe I believe he deserves the respect to be mentioned with. Is he elite? And I'm trying to choose my words here because I don't think he's elite, but I think he's very good.
Yeah, he's
But
very good.
he could be climbing into the elite category soon.
Yeah,
If that makes sense. If that
and
makes sense.
really, the defense that he's in could put him in that status.
Yeah.
It really
So
could.
Tristan, what are your thoughts? Is he there?
One in regards to the Seahawks. Let me in regards to the Seahawks. Let me talk about that whole team in general. What the 12 have to understand when I say the 12s, the Seahawks fans, like the real ones, the ones that are actually in Seattle.
I live in
Um,
Seattle.
They live there. Yeah.
yeah, they live there. Yeah. The thing about them is the fact that they have to kind of do the long game, right? We're coming out of the Pete Carroll era. We're a long ways away from beast mode, long ways away from the Legion of Boom, and also getting off the residue of having Russell Wilson there. Your team outside of what GM and owner, or GM or rather, your team is kind of like on a full reset. So they've actually done this quite well as far as being patient because they've built this team through the draft and not try to make too many big splashes in free agency. They want to build their own, kind of like how they did with the Legion of Boom guys. So um, I commend them on that because they've gotten some quality people through the draft. Now, as far as Love's concerned, I think he's pretty decent. I think he's pretty good. I think you lock him in, continue to groom him, continue to grow him, and you're hoping that you're going to get a Pro Bowler out of him, All Pro, out of him in the future. So they're making their investments on their guys. So again, the 12 got to be patient. Like y'all not going to be competitive in the West for a while. Like I think it's still going to just be between the Rams and the 49ers, with the 49ers having a chokehold on the division. So you're not going to be making any headway for a while because that quarterback position is so average.
It really is.
So you just have to have patience. So let the team do what they're doing to continue investing in the young skill guys that they got, the defense that they got. Because probably not next year, but probably the year after, depending how college football shakes out, the year after is probably when you're going to be trying to look for your franchise QB. If I'm
In
the Seattle Seahawks,
2026.
yes, that's probably where you're going to be
Hmm.
looking for your franchise QB. And with that being the case, what do you need when you had a young quality defense. You're just resetting the clock. That's all it is.
Yeah, Seattle fans really gonna have to be patient. Like you said, they in big transition. New head coach, well, new staff, period. So um everyone has to learn everything new. That takes a while. They're gonna have to gel together with this entire new staff, offensively, defensively, special teams, everything. Um, and Tristan, like you said, if the quarterbacks coming out is in 2026, then so be it. Because I think this draft that I've heard that it is running back heavy. I've heard that it's defensive heavy, and I think it might be tight end heavy. That's what I've heard for the upcoming
Weak
draft.
tight end class this year. Yeah.
Huh?
So it was a weak tight end class this year.
This year coming up?
No, I'm talking about this past year.
This past year was definitely weak.
Yeah.
So I heard this one might be strong, but so it's running back, tight end, and defense, which is not going to be all that sexy for fans, but it is what it is.
Yeah. But we'll still watch.
Oh yeah, of course. And here's another thing too: quarterbacks are going to get pushed up just because, excuse me, because of the position.
Because they quarterback.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Because of the position. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, another contract extension: Christian Dershaw for the Vikings. I believe it was a 4-year contract, if I'm not mistaken, and I think $113 million. Which I think is correct.
You talking about Derek Shaw's new deal?
Yeah, 4 years, $113 million, $77 million guaranteed for Derek Shaw left tackle.
That's a good segue to go to the next thing. Go ahead.
Yeah, because he as a left tackle, protects the quarterback's blind side, which they don't have much at quarterback right now. Up and coming left tackle, was drafted, of course, a few years ago. I guess he's probably a top 10, but probably on the second half of being one of the best left tackles in the league. Because I don't know how many left tackles really are out. Trent Williams, Decker. I got to think about that one. But Slater. Yeah, Rashawn Slater. That's right. But no, that was a good contract extension. We'll see how that affects
Dawkins for the Bills.
Oh yeah, that's right. Okay.
And then
Wirfs, because Wirfs moved over to left tackle.
Yeah, Tristan Wirfs, and then the guy from oh God, just slipped my mind. The guy from for Kansas City.
Oh,
the left tackle from.
Because Creed Humphrey's the center. Oh God, I'm drawing a blank. Slips my mind. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I'm like drawing a blank on the L like that. Yeah.
We drawing blanks tonight.
We
but
both
anyway,
blank on that one. Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Anyway, but yes, Dershaw's probably about number 6, 7 or something like that. Kind of like Julian Love is at safety. The Vikings are going to have to, almost like Seahawks fans, they're going to have to be patient because they don't have anything at quarterback, unless their draft pick does something. But I mean, you got your left tackle. They got the left tackle wide receiver signed. They traded for Hawkinson last year. They drafted Addison. Now Addison needs to stop getting in trouble because he's been in trouble 2 off seasons in a row. He needs to stop getting in trouble because he's going to be the type of person that puts his team behind because of what he's doing. Because I feel if he mess up again, it wouldn't surprise me if he gets cut.
Pulling a Rashee Rice.
And Rashee Rice, hey, look, man, he's gonna be on the hot seat too. He got to be on the hot seat because Xavier Worthy out there catching already catching passes deep. And Hollywood Brown, shoot, okay,
Exactly.
you go keep acting up because from what I'm hearing, and I know I'm all over the place now. Kansas City, Kadarius Toney got to get reps at running back, and to me, that tells me that either you're going to work out at running back or you out of here. And I feel like he's going to be out of here. But
So that's a good segue. We're talking about Christian Darrisaw and left tackles, and we're going into talking about we just found out today that 49ers left tackle Trent Williams is holding out for more guaranteed money or an extension, which already comes, on the heels of Brandon Ayuk requesting a trade. Even though he did show up to camp, he's a hold in. Trent Williams is 34 years old, I believe. And the thing is, he's got 3 more years on his deal. But the issue is that none of his money is guaranteed.
exactly.
It's kind of like the same situation with Christian McCaffrey. Christian McCaffrey had I think 2 more years left on his deal before the Niners extended him. And basically they extended him so he could get more guaranteed money. Now, people in Niners land are kind of freaking out about this, but I'm not ready to holler chicken little, the sky's falling just yet. Basically, to be honest, by extending Trent Williams, this is how the math works, you would actually free up more cap space. Now, currently, the Niners do have cap space to re-sign Brandon Ayuk to a deal that he will want, that both sides will be happy with. But that all extending guys who are already on your team, I've said this 1,000 times, when you extend a guy that's currently under contract on your team, that actually frees up cap space. So if I'm John Lynch, I go ahead and do that extension for Trent because why? He deserves it. 2, he's the best left tackle in football.
Right.
Because when we get to this top 100, and by the time it's all said and done, I'm willing to wager my entire bank account that Trent Williams is probably going to be listed as the best left tackle or the best tackle on that top 100 list. Now, I mean, he's going to be the number 1, but he's going to be – there ain't going to be no tackles above him when he's done, when the countdown's done. So, yes, because right now the offensive line situation in San Francisco is not great. It's not bad, but it's not great. So that's the anchor of your offensive line. Go ahead, extend him. Now you got some more money to pay that's left over. You can pay Brandon Ayuk, put a little bit more on his guaranteed money. Go ahead and do that. Put a little bit more on his yearly average. BA was smart going to him, and then we're going to get off of this. But BA was smart for showing up for camp because he stood to lose, I want to say about $40,000 a day for missing camp each day. Right now, Williams stands to lose $50,000, but Trent Williams is making a lot more money though. So he like, I ain't coming to y'all, just, like that. So we'll see how that shakes up. But I will say this. All of these distractions could, in fact, put a hamper on the 49ers season. It could hamper the 49ers progress this season.
It really could.
It's got Ayuk stuff going on. You got Trent Williams stuff going on. And they need to corral this foolishness right away if they plan on making another push like they did last year. Because these distractions will definitely get to be completely out of control. And so they need to handle that because they could lose some games to some teams that are not better than them. Just simply because the
distractions.
The distractions.
You lose focus. And the thing is,
Everybody's, reporters. Yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna say, and see, when you lose games that you shouldn't lose, it hurts your seeding because you're gonna want that number one seed because you want that off week, but you also want everybody to come to you. You don't want to be out there traveling. I'm not and San Francisco wouldn't be traveling anyway because they won the division, but Detroit is gonna compete for that number one seed, and it wouldn't surprise me if Green Bay some way somehow competes for that number one seed. Now maybe not, but Detroit is on your heels.
Yeah,
Detroit and
Green Bay,
and it could be a difference between traveling to Detroit versus traveling to San Francisco.
Yes, staying at home in San Francisco. Yeah.
Well, I'm talking about Detroit traveling to San Francisco, but yeah.
So but yeah, I mean, but yeah, this it is noteworthy simply because again, people are like, well, you always about the Niners, but the Niners are the contenders. So they're the contenders in the NFC, the NFC champions, and these contract disputes or negotiations, quote unquote, are going to be they could. I ain't gonna say they will. They could cause problems in the future. Unless if you're a Niners fan, let's hope it doesn't. But excuse me. But that's something to keep your eye on. Tristan, thoughts?
You know who you could blame for all this confusion? Kyle Shanahan. Because you know what would eliminate all of this? Winning one of these Super Bowls that he lost.
Yep.
It's the problem is that the roster is so talented,
loaded,
but your key components on the roster, they are starting to see the look over the hill a little bit, and they're like, hey now, all right, we done had a couple cracks at this chip and fell short. Well, I need to at least secure my chicken. That's all it is.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, I gotta secure my money. So at least if I don't get out of here with a championship, I'm at least get out of here getting paid.
Yeah.
The reason why you ain't never really heard any salary issues and stuff in the Patriots in their heyday, because they was either in the Super Bowl, and probably 80% of the time they were in the Super Bowl, they were winning the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
So them guys took pay cuts. They ain't really deal with Robert Kraft and Bill Belichick when it came to money, because they're like, look, 12 getting us to the chip, and we winning these things. There's guys that probably wouldn't have sniffed the Super Bowl if they weren't on the Patriots roster. So you didn't hear anything. And so for the last 5 years, you didn't hear anything in regards to people really worrying about the contracts of the 49ers, because they're like, man, we keep knocking on the door for the Super Bowl. We're going to get at least one. But what happened? Patrick Mahomes came into the league, and they created their own, little dynasty over there in Kansas City that's kept y'all from winning the Super Bowl. So now they're like, well, looking at what Patrick Mahomes did, restructuring his contract, he's trying to keep people on his roster. Look at Chris Jones. Why did Chris Jones, even though when Chris Jones had his issues with his contract, why did Chris Jones ultimately say, hey, I'm coming back? Why? Because we're going to the Super Bowl and we got a chance to three-peat. That hasn't happened for the 49ers. So because of that, they're like, well, I need to secure my dollar, especially people like Trent Williams. Trent Williams know he only got a few more years, if that.
Yeah.
So he's gonna get every dollar he can get before he up out of here, so he can make sure his life after football is secure.
And the thing about it is, this is more personal for Trent Williams than anybody else because of what he went through in Washington. Remember, he had that medical scare, so he's trying to get whatever he can now. It's personal for him. He wants his money. He wants a ring.
Yeah.
He wants his money. But he wants his money.
Right. So Tristan, you spot on with that. Winning is the great elixir. That's the best. Like I think somebody said a long time ago, winning's the best deodorant.
Yes.
It cleans up a lot of stuff. You know, I don't think had the Niners pulled it out in overtime in February, I don't think we're having these issues. I don't. Maybe BA, but because his deal is coming up next year.
But I don't even think the demand would be so crazy with BA. I don't think the demand would be so crazy because you think about it.
No,
if y'all want at least one of those things, right? If I'm Brandon Ayuk, all right, I'm playing the wide receiver position. I just won a chip. Okay, maybe I don't ask for 30-something million. Maybe I do take 29 or maybe take 30 and a half, right? But I'm still get to play with Christian McCaffrey, who's going to see his targets. And I'm playing with Debo, who's going to get his targets. And playing with George Kittle, who's going to get his targets. So I'm prolonging my football life because I ain't going to get hit so much because everybody's a target. So I ain't going to see so much action looked on me. So I can stay on this team,
not to mention,
keep winning, get paid, and I'll be cool.
And not to mention, I have a quarterback that came out of nowhere and gave us an upgrade because no one saw that coming.
Oh, definitely.
No one saw that coming.
Nobody saw that coming.
That was not on anybody's
if you saw that
bingo
coming,
card. That was not on anybody's NFL bingo card.
Hey, if you saw that coming, I want to go to Vegas with you.
Thank you.
Like that.
Thank you. Listen. When a quarterback is labeled as a camp arm, that's what he's supposed to be, a camp arm, and that's it. He might be a future third string quarterback, and that's it. That's it. Maybe second string if he's good enough, but other than that, he's a third stringer, not a starter going to the Super Bowl. Not a starter going to the NFC Championship game, and the only reason why you lose is because you got hurt.
And again, they know Brock Purdy about to get his money. So they're like, I need to get my money now because y'all going to pay that boy.
That makes sense.
He's not going to have contractual strain. You need a quarterback in this league. Y'all going to pay him. So I need to get my money before y'all pay him.
Yeah, because like Eric said, all Purdy has to do is have another similar season.
That's it. He ain't got to do nothing extra.
Listen, I don't know how much money Dak is going to end up with whatever team, whether it's Dallas or somebody else. If it's 60 or 60, Purdy's going to get 65 to 70. People might as well go and get ready for that right now. He's going to get somewhere between $65 to $70 million a year.
If he has another season like he did.
If he has another season,
by that time you'll be looking at 3 seasons of the same stuff. He's proven it at that point.
Yeah.
All the haters can shut up. All of the he's the game manager. Shut up.
Yeah, Brock Purdy and his agent are looking square at Dallas. What are you going to give Dak? Because whatever you give, you got to add 5 on top of that for me.
Yeah, of course.
Because at this point I'm better. I've won more playoff games in 2 years than
And guess what?
All I do is win. Now, he gonna walk into the GM's office with all I do is win on a boombox.
Eric, I saw real quick, and then we're gonna go to this top 100. Yeah. I saw who has the best completion percentage and who has the worst completion percentage of throwing the football 20 air yards. Brock Purdy has the best completion percentage in the league at 55%, 20 plus air yards. You know who has the worst? You know who has the worst?
I don't
Your
know.
favorite quarterback.
Jimmy Garoppolo.
Nope.
Who?
Mac Jones, 8%.
Oh yeah, I knew. Well, I don't even equate. Mac
no, I'm just saying. I just want to let you know, Eric, that you should continue to pat yourself on the back.
Mac Jones was drafted when? What round?
First round.
Exactly. That's what people hate.
No, but I just want you to continue to pat yourself on the back because you was right about Mac Jones. 8%.
Oh, yeah, I knew, man. Look here, man. When Mac Jones had that pro day indoors with his receivers. What up, Chiaro? That's my crab brother.
with his receivers indoors, air conditioned, and was missing his receivers. I was like, hell no. I said, I don't know. And then the dad bod picture came out. I'm like, I'm supposed to look like that because I'm 49. He 20 something. He ain't supposed to look like that. About to go to the league. So yeah, Mac Jones. But getting back to
that's a valid point. You should not have a dad bod as a football player and you're in your 20s. That means you don't care about football. You don't lift weights. You don't condition. You don't do nothing.
Right. But I'm really hoping that, and it will go to the top 100, but I'm really hoping that all of the reason why so many people are hating on Brock Purdy because he's breaking the paradigm of quarterback scouting for the NFL. That's why. And they mad. If Brock Purdy was a first rounder, they would be heaping laurels all on him and talking about how great he is and everything else like that. But a lot of these people that don't like Brock Purdy are the ones that was like the ones that have him as a 7th round pick, which is just about everybody. That's why the Niners got him and said, "Oh, you a camp on?" Oh, wait a minute, that's our starting quarterback. Hold on.
Witness the greatness of Anna
Hall. So we're gonna talk about this top 100. There's some people on here that just made it for the first time. Then there are also some people who should be higher than what they are. And there's some people that I feel like should be lower. But we're gonna share our thoughts on it because they've gone all the way to 61. We're gonna fly through it, but as much as I like Rodgers, it's true he went down. He didn't play. We're gonna get to it in a minute, Sam, but he didn't play. How you gonna be 92 overall and you played less than 92 seconds?
Wait a minute.
What? Purdy's a typical Shanahan quarterback. He's a quarterback that throws. Yeah, you ain't watching no film. You ain't watching no film, CB. For you to say something like that, that's pure ignorance. Because if he's a typical quarterback in the Shanahan system, how come Jimmy Garoppolo couldn't do what he did? I'll wait. I'll wait. How come he's number one in air yards over 20 yards? If he's just a system quarterback, I'll wait. How come he's number one in pass rating?
Don't even stress yourself out.
Eric, wait. Eric.
Don't even stress yourself out, Eric. Don't even stress yourself out.
I'm gonna be waiting a long ass time for them answers.
Don't even stress yourself out.
I got it. I got the answers right here. When y'all say ignorant stuff like that, CB, I love you, but you're wrong. You're wrong as a $7 bill. All right, let's go on.
Ooh, okay. All right.
Let me make my comment let me make my comment about this real fast. I'm gonna keep it short and sweet. I've said this before on the show, and I promise to make a TikTok about all this stuff. Brandon's been getting on me because I haven't made it yet. I promise. There's only a small handful of outlier quarterbacks that have ever played this game. You're trying to say he's a system quarterback as if it's like an insult. All these guys play certain systems. There ain't but so many QBs that can play in any offense because they're such an outlier. It doesn't come a dime a dozen. So, again, like Eric said, I don't care if he's a system for that. Guess what? Out of all the quarterbacks that he had at his disposal, Brock Purdy is the one that excels at it the best. Trumped everybody else. Same thing when they did the whole thing with Tom Brady. Well, Tom Brady is a system quarterback to Bill Belichick and the Patriots. Okay, he had Drew Bledsoe. And guess what? Tom Brady beat out Drew Bledsoe, who was in the
He had Rohan Davey too. And Jimmy Garoppolo.
This whole thing of people saying system quarterback, this system quarterback. All the quarterbacks need some kind of system to be successful. All these quarterbacks cannot play in any system and be successful. They need certain things to go their way to favor them. That's why we scream at these GMs and stuff when they draft QBs. Do not try to draft a QB that plays in a triangle and then try to force him to play in a circle. It does not work like that. You have to play him the way he knows it. There are but so many of these guys where
Thank
you can
you.
say, just plug him in and he's going to do wonders for you. They do not come
Brock
that often.
Brock
For
Purdy
Brock
elevates
Purdy
the
to be
system.
able
Tom
to,
Brady elevates the
yes,
system.
for Brock Purdy to come in and do what he did shows that Brock Purdy is more than what you call system QB. Because if he was just a system QB, then all the other quarterbacks that they had that were more physically talented than him should have beaten him.
There it is. I mean, you can't put it no plainer than that.
But
And then the stats
but
back up everything that we saying.
but okay, Carol, I understand what you're saying, but even though the results for Jimmy Garoppolo and
No,
Brock,
he hasn't. No,
hold on, wait,
Brandon.
wait.
Hold on,
Wait,
Brandon. I'm gonna let you get it.
wait,
No, he hasn't.
Wait. Even though Jimmy Garoppolo went to the Super Bowl and lost, he was not the one carrying the team on his back. Purdy did
He was getting
more.
carried.
Purdy did more. Okay. It's just that Kyle Shanahan screwed up in the Super Bowl because he wants to sit there and don't want to
Go
run
ahead.
the
I'm gonna let you
football.
finish. I got one more thing to say about that too.
Okay, and like I said, Purdy elevates the system. Tom Brady elevates the system. Okay, and I've said on this show, quarterbacks need help anyway. Everyone is not going to be Superman and carry the team to a Super Bowl victory because one, it doesn't work that way. Two, you need playmakers.
It's
You
very
need
rare.
pass protection. You need a play caller. And you got to remember, there's 3 phases to football. I can have the best offense in the world, but if my defense and special teams are trash, then that offense is a waste. So all this win stuff really is a whole team thing. No one is sitting here carrying a whole 53-man roster on his back.
Very rare. Very rare. So let me throw some numbers into the mix, right? Because I'm the numbers man. And once I drop these numbers, then there's nothing else to be said because you can't refute facts. At no time during the Shanahan era, and I want you to look it up and try to prove me wrong, but you won't. At no time during the Shanahan era did they have a running back over 2,000 all-purpose yards, a receiver over 1,000 yards, another receiver over 1,000 all-purpose yards, and a tight end over 1,000 yards until Brock Purdy started an entire season. That's elevating the system. And I'm done.
All right.
If you want names, I'll give them to you. That's elevating the system. You become a better running team because of the threat of how good you can throw the ball.
Yeah, and that's another thing too. Purdy,
Deebo Samuel had 1,000 yards all purpose and missed 3 games.
Brock Purdy is a legitimate quarterback who has worked on his craft, and we talked about this before on the show. Quarterbacks that literally sit there and work on their craft and are really true quarterbacks because they can read a defense, they can process everything, they can do everything they need to do to be a legitimate quarterback. I've said on the show that there's a quarterback in the NFC East who I still don't consider him a quarterback because he has yet to work on his craft as a quarterback, and I don't expect this offensive coordinator to change things either. No, well,
You said NFC East or AFC East?
I said NFC East. I know you said Daniel Jones, but I'm not even thinking about.
You're talking about Jalen.
Yeah, I'm not even thinking about Daniel Jones anymore. Daniel Jones to me is a 3rd-string quarterback at best, or he need to go to the UFL and see what he can do. That's what Daniel Jones is to me. He's a 3rd-string quarterback, or he needs to go to the UFL. Nothing wrong with the UFL because you can have success in UFL, and that's fine. Everybody be happy for you. But you're a 3rd-string quarterback in the NFL.
Yeah. So there it is.
All right, now, so we have top 100 list, and as you can see, so I'm sharing my screen. So this is what you see. So Zaire Franklin at 100. Congratulations to him making it. Levante David. Let me just say this real quick. I find it interesting that Tampa Bay decided to keep this aging inside backer over another inside backer who is in Philadelphia, but he should be rising. But so far, it looks like his career is already fallen. So whatever. 98 Cam Hayward, he's fallen, but he did suffer injury according to this. So we'll see what happens with him. 97
Injury and age.
Yeah, injury and age. Terry McLaurin, 97. He needs a quarterback.
I think that number's gonna change. Yeah, I was about to say that
He needs
the
a
number's
quarterback.
gonna change with him.
Dude, yo,
Yeah.
could you imagine if Terry McLaurin was in San Francisco or if he was in Minnesota or something, Kansas City?
We're not Minnesota right now, but
Well, not right now, but could you imagine if he was in Kansas City or San Francisco or somewhere, Green Bay,
Yes.
Detroit?
Mhm.
Deion Dawkins, one of the best offensive tackles. Julian Love, we just talked about him.
Yeah, I mentioned him earlier.
Trevor
There's
Lawrence.
Julian Love.
I was surprised he was this high.
Who's that?
Trevor Lawrence.
You think that's high for him?
I mean, I guess, I don't know.
Because I mean, any lower, he off the countdown, man. 94.
My bad.
Like I think that's par for the course.
Okay. Harrison Smith, 93. He moved up. Aaron Rodgers should not be on this list. I'm sorry he didn't play.
Yeah, like he's 92, but he didn't play 92 seconds. So
Thank you.
This past season. Yeah, man.
Um,
come on, man.
91 is Tyreek Woolen. He
I hate the Seahawks, but this cat can play. He flat out can play.
So those are the two Seahawks DBs we was talking about that made it in the top
Uh-huh.
100, and that was just in the beginning. 92-81. We have come on. At number 90, Devontae Smith, I guess.
Yeah, par for the course. Yeah.
89, Buda Baker took us. Oh, because he suffered a hamstring injury. That's what happened.
I think that's injury. That might change by the,
Yeah,
by
it
the
is
time
injury.
next year.
Do you see this right here? It says hamstring.
Yeah, I think he's the heart and soul of that defense at this point.
Oh my, it's not even close
Arizona.
either.
Yeah, so
Not
like
even
I
close.
really think if he plays a full season healthy, his number's gonna change by next year. But that's fair. What they got him, where they have him at now is fair.
Chris Lindstrom, 88. Hassan Reddick, 87. Hassan Reddick, by the way, is holding out for a new contract extension. We talked about it last week. 86,
Hey,
Saquon Barkley.
I think that's a little low. I think that's a little low in my opinion. I think he should be. Go ahead.
I think I'm interested in seeing what he does in Philadelphia. Even though he doesn't have a quarterback, but he has an offensive line. I know I've trashed Philadelphia, but Philadelphia always has an offensive line. I will always say that they have trench game both sides.
Yeah, I think he's a little low. Not a little, but really low.
85, Tristan Wirfs.
I think he's very low.
I agree. 84, DK Metcalf.
That's about where he need to be.
He wasn't on there last year because it says not available, so he wasn't on there last year.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not going to, you know how we feel about DK Metcalf's skill set, me and you, Brandon.
Yeah.
About his change of direction. But you can't knock 1,000-yard season with a bad quarterback.
No, you can't.
With a mediocre
Really, you
quarterback.
can't.
And
You
he's
really
done it
can't.
like 2 years in a row, I believe.
You
So,
really can't.
Yeah, so I can't knock him for that because you're getting it done with subpar quarterback play. So
Yeah.
I got it. I think that's fair.
Derwin James.
In my opinion, he's one of the best safeties in the league.
No, and he is. It's just that his injuries, man. It's just I hate that he gets hurt so much.
Because the style he plays with, he's so reckless.
Yeah,
He throws his body everywhere. He plays like a strong safety, but he's a deep ball safety.
right.
But he throws his body everywhere like he's a traditional 1990s strong safety. Which wasn't nothing but a light linebacker back in the day.
Nah, you're right about that.
Yeah.
Montez Sweat. Hey, listen, man, and I know this hurts Tristan. I'm sorry, Tristan, but when Montez Sweat got to Chicago, he started
I was
balling out.
Yeah, I was impressed.
He started
'Cause
balling out. I was like, whoa, where does Montez Sweat come from?
Why would that hurt me?
Let me,
Because he's a former
what,
commander.
That was the old regime. This is a new day. I don't remember
Okay.
anything from the past.
That's fair. No, a couple things about my opinion on Montez Sweat. I had to admit I was wrong because I will on this podcast admit when I'm wrong.
Oh, yeah, same here.
I'm
No, I was
very
wrong
rarely
too.
wrong. I'm very rarely wrong, but when I am wrong, I will admit it. I said the Bears should not have paid Montez Sweat
Right.
that early. And it turned out to be that he balled out. DK Metcalf has no change of direction. He has 3 routes on his route tree that he runs well. That's it.
That's it.
That's it. His change of direction skills. He's tight hipped. He's a big old dude that can jump and he's fast, but he's not a great all-around receiver. He belongs right there at 84. A lot of people get caught up with his size and his speed, but his pure receiving ability from the technical standpoint, he's not a route runner. I'm gonna give you a slant. I'm gonna give you a fly. I'm gonna give you a post.
Once DK Metcalf start losing that speed, you're gonna see.
You're gonna see exactly
because all you're gonna need is a physical DB that's like his size, like 6'2", 6'3", weigh 215, that can match up with him.
Yeah.
That's easy. Come on now, what are we talking about? He's just a 235-pound wide receiver that's strong, that runs a 4-3.
And also, his mental game is not very strong because once you get under his skin in games, he disappears. It's been proven. Jalen Ramsey, who I'm not very favorable of, has gotten him out of his game.
Hey.
Jimmy Ward has, especially guys that are in conference, in division. Excuse me. Shavarius Ward did it last year. Completely just shut him down. Not because he lacked ability, but he's not mentally tough. Let's go ahead on. Kirk Cousins at 81. I don't really like that, but again, that was that injury, that Achilles. We'll see.
Give me a second.
Was that it for that?
No, that's it for that section.
So we're going to 80
through 71.
We're going 80 to 71. So we got 20 more. Okay.
The reason you had to give the nod to Kirk Cousins being on there is because before the injury, Kirk Cousins was on a tear, and then he got hurt. People forget what he was doing before he got hurt.
You're right, because here's the thing, and we talked about it a lot on the podcast ad nauseum. Kirk Cousins is probably one of the best fantasy football quarterbacks you can get because he's going to give you those numbers that you need, especially if you're in a points per reception league. He's going to get points per yards. He's going to get it. And then when the playoffs come, empty calories. Keep going. Sam Laporta, number 80. I think he's better than that, but he had 80's pretty good for his first time on the count.
Hey, Sam Laporta was a rookie, man. I mean, we need to. He's creeping on the come up, man.
Yeah,
he is
to be 80 the first time on there. That's impressive because we were talking about when what was that? Was it not Hendrickson? Oh God, who's the tight end that left Detroit and went to Minnesota? Hockenson. Yeah, we were saying, oh man, what is Detroit gonna do? And they knew what they had. They knew they had Sam Laporta.
Yep.
That's what it was. They're like, bye, we got Sam Laporta. And he proved it. So yeah, great. Yeah, that was a great thing. Yeah. So thank you, Kiara. Minkah Fitzpatrick.
79.
Was he injured this season?
Yeah, he Andrew Bugman 7 games.
Okay, that's why he failed. But I mean, when he's healthy, Minkah Fitzpatrick, he's one of my favorite safeties in the league.
Facts.
For his ability. Yeah, he's one of my favorites. All right. 78 Kyren Williams. I can't see. Okay. I get that Saquon was hurt, but I can't realistically and in good conscience put Kyren Williams ahead of Saquon Barkley. I can't. I just can't. And I get Saquon was hurt, but we know what Saquon is when he's on. You know what I'm saying?
No, I get it. I get it.
Yeah, and there's Trey Hendrickson.
He is a very quiet. He's a very quiet defensive end who just a playmaker.
He eats.
He's consistent.
Yeah, he eats. He just eats consistently. So yeah, Dre Greenlaw. I hope he comes back from that Achilles.
That's
I really, in my heart of hearts, feel like if Dre Greenlaw was on the field in the second half of the Super Bowl, it may not have gone into overtime. A lot of the stuff that they took advantage of.
A lot of people said that.
Was Oren Burks being on the field. Thank God he's no longer on the team. But Oren Burks being on the team covering for Greenlaw, who was injured. I think if Greenlaw had been out there, I don't know if that game would have went into overtime. I think the Niners might have pulled it out. We talking about a 3-point differential.
A lot of people said when Greenlaw went down, they said the Chiefs just won the Super Bowl.
Yeah. Because the way he was playing the last part of the season and into the playoffs. Hell, he the one that shut down Green Bay with that game-winning interception. Even though it was an ill-advised pass in the triple coverage by Jordan Love. Still, he came up with that pick. You know, Greenlaw, yeah, if he comes back from this Achilles, like he knows how to, I see him being much higher next season. Because he's unsung.
Yeah, he's
like, everybody knows about Freaky Fred Warner. But Greenlaw, man, he the straw that stirs the drink. Let's keep going.
All right. 75, Justin Herbert took a huge dip.
I was going to say 75, Jennifer Aniston. Justin Herbert. Yeah, I know how I think me and Tristan are on the same page about Justin Herbert. And I think he'll get better. I think he's right where he needs to be, but I think he'll get better because Jim Harbaugh is there, and Jim Harbaugh is a quarterback whisperer. He gets the most out of his quarterbacks. And I think this might be, and I know we got a lot of people who love Colin Kaepernick, but I think this might be the best pro quarterback Jim Harbaugh has coached.
All right. Also, one more thing. He fell from 43 to 75. His season was shortened because of a broken finger.
Right. And I think he'll jump back up.
74, Jesse Bates. I forgot about him. That's another football player who
really
is good, but he's really quiet. He's quiet. Like Trey Henderson. He's like Trey Henderson. Both defensive players are quiet, and they just make plays.
And it's because he was on the Falcons. Let's go ahead and keep it a buck.
That's true.
He didn't splash because he's with the Falcons. But if he would have been on like a high profile team that was winning a lot of games, we'd be talking about him a little bit more. And I think that's
of course.
Yeah, but he deserves to be right where he is. Jeffrey Simmons, number 73, defensive tackle, Tennessee Titans.
Injuries.
Knee
injuries.
Garrett Wilson.
Remember, Aaron Rodgers got hurt.
And that had a lot to do with you out there with Zach Wilson throwing you balls and everything. And it's just,
everybody else, it wasn't just Zach Wilson. It was like a couple other quarterbacks.
But check this out, though. He still came up to spots.
And he had 95 catches for 1,000 yards.
In spite of. So that says a lot about him. That says a lot about him. In a good way.
Of course.
Tunsil. So we got Laramie Tunsil, 71.
Another good offensive tackle.
Yeah, and that's who we forgot to mention when we were talking about top offensive tackles earlier in the show. Laramie Tunsil, he's gonna anchor that really dangerous Houston Texans offensive line. I'm expecting a lot from Houston this season. I expect a lot. All right. 70. So we're at 70 to 61.
Yeah, give me
the last 10.
Give me a second. $70, Amari Cooper.
Just got it. That's what we forgot to mention. He just got an extension, rightfully so. I think he's the anchor wide receiver for the Cleveland Browns.
Yes, he is.
Let's see if we can get a healthy Deshaun Watson and see how he really cuts up.
Yep.
69, Cooper Kupp, injuries.
Hamstring injury and ankle sprain. Okay.
Yeah, and I think basically he could have been better, but he mostly plays out of the slot. He's not a true outside wide receiver.
No.
But Cat gets open. Just put it like that. He gets open.
Now, I didn't realize he was 31 years old already. I said, God, Lee.
Uh-huh. Yeah, he on the backside. He on his way. He on the backside of his career. Who we got next?
Danielle Hunter.
Danielle Hunter. He wasn't on the countdown last year.
No, he wasn't. It says not available.
Oh, but he finna act a fool in this defense that D'Amico Ryan's finna.
Man, listen.
Oh, he's going to eat.
He's gonna go back to being a household name in that system.
Listen, it's ridiculous. Real quick, how loaded Houston's roster is on offense and defense.
And then they just signed Cam Akers this week.
Yes, they did.
I told my Houston Texans, my diehard Texans friends who are Texans fans, I said, y'all getting on my nerves. I just told them just like that. I said, y'all getting on my nerves now. Y'all just doing too much now.
Hey,
you got Joe Mixon, now you're going to get Cam Akers to back him up. What that? Come on, man.
Along with Dameon Pierce still being there.
Yeah.
Now, another thing, the Texas general manager, and this was brought up on Kyle Hurst's show. Huh?
Nick Caserio.
Yeah, Nick Caserio. He was in New England, okay? When it came to drafting and building a team, he didn't have much of a voice because Bill Belichick controlled that room. He's in Houston now, and you see the kind of team that he has.
They letting him do what he want. They let him cook.
Could you imagine if Belichick would have gave him more of a voice in New England? Belichick could probably still be coaching in New England. I'm not saying Super Bowls, but I'm saying
you wouldn't have had to fall off.
Right.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying.
And I know Belichick's trying to get back into coaching already for next season. We'll see what happens. 67, Teron Armstead moved up 16 spots. Miami Dolphins offensive tackle.
That's another one we forgot about. We were talking about top offensive tackles.
Yep.
your
boy 66 for the first time.
Yeah, for the first time, and rightfully so. 1,300 yards on a run first offense. Yeah, 22nd in targets, but top 10 in every other category. That means you make the most of what you got. Keep going.
Poyer took a dip, 8 spots down to 65. Miami Dolphins now plays for the Dolphins safety.
I think he's gonna come back up next.
Yeah, I think so too. Their defense in Miami is gonna be similar to Baltimore and Seattle's defense and the Chargers, because all those guys, their defense is very, very similar. It's Baltimore, it's Seattle, it's Miami, it's the Chargers, and Tennessee. All 5 teams are going to be running a very, very similar defense. So keep an eye out on that this upcoming season. So if you got who's a coach that wants to learn that defense, you got 5 teams to look at.
Yeah.
64 is going to be Patrick Queen. Patrick Queen is a good inside backer. I think he needs to be the second inside backer as far as, and I know both of them. I know both inside backers will start, but as far as like, he doesn't need to be the main guy. He needs to be the guy that chases backside and make plays. That's who he is. He's not. He's not a read and go get the ball carrier type inside backer. He's the guy that,
sideline to sideline, sifting straight.
Sideline to sideline, yes. But you don't want him reading. You just want him to go chase. That's what he is.
He's going that way. Go get him.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
63. Jalen Waddle took a dip.
I have a problem with that. Jalen Waddle being ahead of Brandon Ayuk, not because I'm a Niners fan, but Jalen Waddle's the number 2 wide receiver.
I agree with you.
He's not an alpha dog.
No, he's not.
Brandon Ayuk is an alpha dog.
Thank you.
People will argue Deebo Samuel, but those roles got switched this past season. Brandon Ayuk became the pure receiver, and Deebo was the gadget guy. But again, not to take anything from Deebo Samuel, because Deebo Samuel is going to be on his countdown much higher, even though he missed 3 games this season. But Yeah, I don't like Jalen Waddle ahead of BA. That's
No, I
that's
agree. I agree with you honestly.
does Waddle deserve to be on there? Absolutely, but not above BA.
Nah. Actually, he should have been back there with Devontae Smith.
Yeah, somewhere around there. Yeah.
Bradley
All right,
Chubb,
Brandon.
62.
See,
73
they got him
tackles.
listed. Yeah, they got him listed as an outside linebacker, but is he really? I forgot it. I figure him more as a hand in the dirt defensive end. In my opinion.
So the Dolphins been running 3-4 a lot over the last years because
They got him standing up.
Fangio. Now Fangio is he's an odd front guy. He's an odd front guy. So he's an outside backer.
Yeah.
But he's the edge rusher outside backer, not the 4-3 outside backer.
Alden Smith.
Huh?
Alden Smith.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Alden Smith, Lawrence Taylor, guys like that. That's what he is.
Justin Matabuke.
Hey, that guy broke out this year.
Yeah, he acted a fool. He acted a fool this year. So that was his first time being on the countdown. I see him rising up in the next few years. But yeah, he was a problem on the interior for most offensive lines. So yeah.
So that's it.
That's it, huh? Yeah,
Yep.
that's it. Okay. So next week we'll be covering I guess what up, Eric James? Next week we're gonna be covering the rest of the countdown. I think they're gonna finish it by the time our next show comes around, I believe.
Yeah, the way they're going because and I don't think they used to do this in the past. They used to go like week to week to week to week to week, but now they're going through it.
Yeah, I think they're just trying to hurry and get done. So we'll cover the rest of the countdown. So now we're gonna be covering 60 to 1 probably, because it'll probably be done by this time next week. And we'll have our thoughts on that. By that time, there'll probably be some contracts that have gotten figured out. Some holdouts may end or continue, and we'll be talking about it on the show. So make sure you guys tune in. Thank you all for who signed on to watch tonight. And tell a friend. Make sure you hit the subscribe button on YouTube and make sure you hit the like button. Because we need the viewers, the subscribers for our algorithm, and so we can build up our viewership and go to a Patreon where we really talk football uncensored. So yeah. So but yeah, thank y'all for tuning in tonight. Brandon, tell them about the platforms, man.
All right, so we are currently live on YouTube, live on Facebook, and live on Twitch. We are no longer live on Twitter because we came to an agreement last week that we're no longer going to be live on Twitter because we're not giving certain people extra money when they don't deserve it. So whether they like it or not,
Elon don't need no more damn money.
Too bad, so sad. I don't care. You can follow us on TikTok, IG, Facebook, and you can follow, but you can't follow us on Twitter though. You can still do that. Okay. And you can listen to us on Apple and Spotify podcasts. Okay. Guys, please do not be afraid to hit that thumbs up like button because you can do that on both YouTube and Facebook. Or even on Facebook, you can hit the love button. Share this content with everybody that you know. Okay. That direction, Trish TV, the quarterback that runs this show. Down below, Pandal 316, the good guy with the black hat. Coach Williams,
Rattlesnake,
the NFL Encyclopedia. Good night, ladies. Good night, everyone, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. Peace.
Yay, yay.